Welcome to First and Goal, where everything is made up and the points don't matter. Get ready for the latest and hottest topics in the SML. Let's get started. Here's your host, Mad Bomber.
All right, guys, welcome back to this week's episode of First and Goal, first episode of Madden 23, and we'll see what lasts longer, this episode or our Madden 23 CFM before it gets blipped, or 22. What are we? I don't even know what we're in. 23. Okay. So we'll start with Faz. We've got Faz, Fins, Coop, and Prime on our first episode. So hopefully no technical issues. And first topic, we'll start with you, Faz. Every season one seems to have a team that starts really hot, and by season four, we're like, how the hell did this guy even win 3 games? Who's your Cinderella this cycle, and how long until the clock strikes midnight on them?
Oh, I'm really glad I get to start this one. So my Cinderella, I heard this man fooled the media pretty quick. I started hearing, is he back? Is he back? Is he back?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. QB dud. This man showed up in the team draft. He ran as fast as he could away from competition, as fast as he could. Starts out pretty hot. Everybody's like, oh, QB, there might be something here. Then he starts losing games, and then all of a sudden, it's immediately running right to the gameplay committee, and you know, all of a sudden he doesn't care about the game anymore. QB flub.
All right, so you think he's already busted? It's over for him, huh?
Yeah, no, it's already. I mean, we saw it. He played like 4 games, I think, against positive records. I didn't even have a positive record at the time. I think he lost 3 out of 4.
Yeah. We won't mention who he beat, but Fins, what do you think? Who's your guy?
I'm gonna take the low-hanging fruit here, and I'm gonna take Meats. I think once Meats loses Rodgers and the fact that he traded Jordan Love, he has no quarterback. People right now are looking for quarterbacks. Like I think my best move that I made was not trading Tua, because the quarterback in the first draft, like there's none. There's one in the top 10. The dude's like 6'1". Like I think he's got like strong, like he doesn't have the throw power, like he doesn't have the elite trait there. So when Rodgers retires this season or even next season, Meats is going to be in a lot of trouble in that division because there's some good players in there. You know, Paulie's got the picks. KJ hasn't won yet, so Paulie could end up having the first pick in the draft and get the only quarterback. He'll have to drive him home in that tank he's driving right now. But hey, if I beat Paulie, there's something going on. Yeah, so I'm gonna say Meats.
Okay. Coop, what do you think?
I'm gonna go a different direction here. I'm gonna go with Gutta. He's about 500 or so right now. He's doing okay, but he'll come up a little bit later in some of my answers. But he has this thing for like really old players, I guess. He just got Taysom Hill for I have no clue why, but yeah. So he's gonna do a pretty good season well, I think, and then once that age starts catching up with him, he's gonna be in trouble.
Okay.
I'd say season 3.
Season 3. Okay. And Prime, who is your Cinderella team that's about to have the clock strike midnight?
Yeah, I think that clock's going to strike midnight, and I think that the arm on the clock's going to fall to the ground, just like Noel Overlord fell through the roof. The Cleveland Browns are 5-3 right now. This should be 4-4 because Madden gifted them. He just lost 50-0. Noel Overlord, sorry Cinderella, sorry Humpty Dumpty, whichever fairy tale it is, your fairy tale season is ending, and yeah, you're done, donezo. And that's what you get for not sending me Deshaun Watson when I asked.
Well, I'll give Noel a point for that, so he's on the board right now.
Did you offer Okariki?
Probably did.
I offered I did actually.
I figured. All right, Fins, we're going to start with you for question 2. Topic 2, I think we could probably all agree that at least for season 1, Fig has shed that worst GM label, mostly because he didn't really do anything, which was already an improvement. Yeah. So if he's not the worst GM, then who's in the lead to take the title from him? Because we know DW's going to have his end of cycle awards.
This hurts. This hurts because he's a brother in arms.
Uh-oh.
But I have to go. We just heard about him. I have to go with Gutta. Okay, so where do we start? Like, Coop hits the nail on the head. He has an old person fetish, right? So he throws a first-round pick for Ryan Tannehill. Not only does he do that, he does that thinking Ryan Tannehill's 28 years old. So he has his age completely wrong. Then he trades a future first for 33-year-old Rodney Hudson Jr., who is an offensive line. Like, what are you doing, Gutta? Like, your team is already old as hell, and you're just adding to it. Come on, buddy. We have to do better. We have to do better. We have a lot of good GMs in the Thanos Club. Come to us for some advice, please.
Now, maybe he thought he'd get like an expansion team if they all retired the same year or something, but
He could have an Arena League team.
yeah. All right, Coop, who do you have?
Yeah, I kind of gave this away, but I got my boy Gutta again. I don't know what it is with the Palm Springs brothers out there, but I think Q got some bad weed. Q made a trade block and put Kyler Murray on there with an $80 million cap penalty. And then his brother's just going after his lead there, and he's like, hey, I'm going to take that 33-year-old center who's probably going to retire after season 1 for a future first-round pick. And, and Tannehill, I don't know how he's that much different than Cousins. That just was really confusing to me to give up a first for him, and he's actually making a lot of money, so I didn't think any of that made sense. But maybe he was just trying to go all in like season 1. He thought he had a shot, but I don't know what he was doing those moves, and even Q's trade block, like I said, like those brothers, I don't think they were looking at their team like actually doing these trades. They were just kind of like off the cuff, like, oh yeah, I like Brandon Tannehill, let's go for him. He's like, what, like 28? So yeah, I gotta pick Gutta again here.
All right, Prime, who do you have?
Yeah, Gutta is the easy choice, but I'm not going with Gutta. I'm going with another former Primer Posse member, because Gutta, I'm going to say, was in the Primer Posse for a short period of time, and that is Doink. And here's why. First of all, he traded Payne, right? Deron Payne.
Yep.
That defensive lineman.
Yeah. Yep.
Made to Coop, correct? That was a super big strength of that team, and he made it not so strong. And we've seen how he looked last cycle after Tom Brady left the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We kept saying, hey, this guy, yeah, this is a great team, but he's not addressing the quarterback situation. He can't, and so now he's at a point where he's going to be just good enough to make the playoffs, probably, maybe, and then he's not going to win in the playoffs. And then he struggled filling the quarterback position before, and now he's really going to struggle, and now his team's not as good as the Buccaneers. So I think he's going to have a chance to build a dream team, and he's going to fail at it. So with that, and not being able to address the quarterback situation, I'm going to say he's going to fail as a GM because he has so many assets, and he's going to come up short, and he's going to doink it, and he's going to be on clutch.
Yeah, he didn't even get Coops first, did he? He got QBs, didn't he?
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. I gave him QBs first, which should be, I don't know,
At least-
15
Yeah.
or after.
Yeah, probably
he
20s.
ends up finishing, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Faz. Who's your worst GM so far?
Yeah, that's they're both two good calls. I'm going with somebody else. I'm sticking in the Primer Posse as well, and we have to roll with Monty.
Whoa.
First off, I'm not sure if he fully understands personnel. We were watching a stream the other night, and Brian Burns is playing like defensive tackle. That can't happen. He's got to be outside, man. Please, 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 get him rushing the edge. But other than that, I mean, just completely mishandled the Baker Mayfield situation. I don't have a problem rolling with Corral.
Mhm.
I don't know what the
One of the two.
it is.
It doesn't matter. That's how good he is. Nobody knows his real name.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't mind rolling with him. You want to stick with the rookie. That's fine. But to handle the Baker situation the way he did, I don't think I ever saw too much of a trade block post for him. He really didn't shop him around. Clearly, there was a market out there. Gouda tried to send a first for Ryan Tannehill, who stinks. Clearly, you could have gotten something. I settled for a pretty crappy deal from Prime. And so on a situation where you have a great team, foundation where you can really build something with that, to settle for a very subpar deal while having probably the best available quarterback on the market, that's a huge miss. And playing in a division with Dump and a great team builder and Clink, he was going to need to capitalize on that to compete and hang around.
Yeah, Monty reminded me of a little kid that had his parents just gave him his allowance and he just wants to spend it. He's not waiting for anything. It's first place he can spend it.
Are you sorry? You're saying this? What? You're surprised this was confused with personnel moves? This? Okay.
Yeah, that. Believe it or not, that.
All right. Finns gets 10 bonus points for that. That was a good one. So Coop, we'll start with you for season or topic 3. How worried are you that we won't make it to season 2 before a blip? And do you think we'll ever get an update from EA?
I guess I'll say I'm not any more worried than I was in playing Madden 22, which we did blip, and there was always a chance every season, like during the draft, that could possibly happen again. So I'm kind of in that boat right now because I think before that we get to the draft, I think they will have an update.
Okay.
Whether it's going to be a perfect one that fixes everything or not, I don't know, but I think it might at least help some of the server stuff and like the going backwards after the draft and then the preseason and stuff. I think we'll get an update that at least help that. So I guess I'm no more worried than I was in Madden 22 when we started over.
All right. Prime, what about you?
Yeah, I obviously you're a little concerned anytime, like literally it seems like half the Madden community on Twitter is saying bad things. I think if the game continues as is, I would really struggle to see how we could get through a whole off season. But I think there's a lot of pressure on EA, and one thing they do care about is their public image when it really starts trending on social media, and it does start impacting their money. And historically, when Twitter and Pat McAfee or people like that start sharing hashtags, EA does respond. When Fix Madden Franchise was a big thing a year or two ago, they did respond. And I think they don't know what's going on, which is a little alarming. But I do think a patch is coming, and we just have to hope that'll at least fix the major issues, even if small things like guys getting cut still happens. If games save and we don't go back in time, I think we can live through it.
Yeah, I will say though they responded with fix Madden Franchise with what's got to be the worst Madden franchise that we've had. So I'm not sure the response is the one you want, but they did acknowledge it and then drop this turd on us. All right, Faz, what do you think?
Yeah, so I can't say that I'm worried. I think I'm just expecting it.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of treating it as, you know what, if we do a second team draft, we do a second team draft. It's fun. We make the most of it. We've already shown that we can survive it.
Yep.
Do I think that we're going to get an update from EA? No. I think we're going to get an update. I don't think it's going to matter. This is the company that, you can't get, +2 speed this year. And then, week 1, somebody gets +3 speed. You just can't really put any stock into what they say. It's a nightmare. They see our tweets. They hit us with the Stephen A. Smith response. You know what? We don't care. We don't. They got our money. They sell their MUT packs. They have their EA exclusive license. We're the CFM community. We're Jon Snow right now. We fight with what we have. Reinforcements are not coming. So if we blip, we blip. We'll make the most of it. It'll be fun anyway.
Yep. All right, Finns, what do you think?
Back in the old day, back in the old day, people used to actually report their stats. They play like Play Now games.
Yeah, it was on League Daddy.
Yeah.
It had me confused when I came back to CFM that it was Daddy League. It was backwards. And
So we might be at that point, maybe. Who knows? When EA abolishes CFM, I'm not letting this baby go too easily. So we're here to stay.
Yep.
The SML will survive.
Figure something out.
My words on that.
We will endure.
All right, Fins, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm pretty worried. Like, things definitely aren't trending in the right direction. It does kind of have that ominous feel. Anytime, as long as we don't have Dan press the button, we might be okay.
Yep.
I think EA did release an update today. So Prime, you were tagged in Primer with a message from a board. Yeah. So they wrote. Just so there were stability improvements, and then they said just a really quick blurb. It said, continuing with our commitment to live service, sorry, our next title update focuses on player feedback from the launch window of Madden 23. This update is currently being targeted for mid-October, and the full update will be detailed via Gridiron Notes. That was released today. My concern with that is, much like the scouting update that was supposed to be on time, would not be surprised if EA says, we're going to push this out, but if CFM wants to take advantage of it, they have to restart. That would be my concern, because I think it's going to be a massive title update, and I don't know if they'll be able to kind of retrograde it into, or retroactively kind of fit it into franchises that have already started, much like the scouting report. So we may be forced to play with this crappy version of CFM or face a restart. That's my concern.
Yeah, I'll just say this, and I've got a rough plan if we do have to restart, and if there actually is a fix, we'll do what we have to do to restart and make it as close as we can to what it was. If we restart, that'll suck, but we'll make the best of it. And good news is Dan will not be touching the freaking button at the draft ever again.
All right.
If we want to get an idea of this, are we going to have to DM you at the end of the season? Or can we get information?
End of the cycle, which could be next week.
That's true.
Thank you.
That's true. I will say,
It could be tonight.
it could be. You never know. I mean, every game save changes. But I will say, since that update came out, I did see something on Twitter. Somebody asking if anybody else's CFM turned off salary cap as soon as they downloaded it. So, yeah. So we'll see.
Wouldn't that also not be a first in the SML?
That's true. The SML has played without a salary cap.
I think I screwed that one up. But Azizi was an admin at that time.
We can blame it on something.
There you go. All right.
I
So
wanted everybody to know what it was like to have unlimited money.
yeah. So, a day in the life is easy, I guess. All right. Topic 4. Prime, we'll start with you. Craziest prediction for the cycle. What do you got?
Yes. Before the cycle started, I had said that our friend Harry was not going to win a Super Bowl. I've changed my opinion on that. He's not going to win a division title. Jaguars, donezo. Colts rule the AFC South. I'm going to sweep the Jaguars the whole cycle. 14-0 or whatever it's going to end up being.
2-0 maybe.
2-0.
Yep.
He's really counting on that.
He's counting on the blip, I think.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's how I feel about that one.
He is donezo.
All right, Fast. Crazy prediction.
My crazy prediction, I'm going to my other sworn enemy, Tiny Titans. Does not quit at any point this cycle. No rage quitting from Tiny.
I think it's more likely Prime sweeps you. I don't think I've been in the SML for a cycle where Tiny didn't quit. So that's
craziest. You said crazy.
That is.
We had to go for a stretch here.
That is up there. I'm going to give you a bonus 5 points. All right, Fins, craziest prediction.
Well, I'm going to kind of take Foz's point here, and I'm going to kind of go the opposite. I think that this cycle is going to see the most turnover in the SML in a long time. I think with the EA issues, with the fact that people could legitimately hit triple digits in picks, the pressure, they can't, the morale's broken. I think we could have close to double-digit people leaving the SML. You want a list? I'll give you a list. Here we go.
All right.
I think
I can't
Paulie.
wait.
I think Paulie could go. I think KJ could go. He's always good for retirement talk. I think Monty could go. I think Field could go. I think QB may take his ball and go home.
Bro, he left after the first point. He gone.
I think Grams may retire. RD's always good to quit a Madden. He hates it all the time. Tiny's always good for a rage quit. Coop hates the game. He could bail. And Fig is also always good for a rage quit or two. All of those guys are the top of the list of people who could just say, I'm out.
I can see that. I can see that.
Forget Dump's got a girl now too.
That's it.
So we're told.
All right, Coop. You close it out with your craziest prediction.
I don't know if mine are that crazy, but
Well, that's
I picked an NFC one and an AFC one.
okay.
But they're maybe not as crazy as you guys. I'm gonna go with the NFC. I'll start with them. If we make it and go like at least 8 seasons, I'm gonna say the NFC wins 2 or fewer Super Bowls. I think this is an AFC cycle.
Probably is.
You would agree with all this. For the one for the AFC, I'm gonna pick on the AFC North, where we have Noel and Double Rice No Bean tied. I'm going to say that whole division, if we make it 8 whole seasons, wins no more than 2 wild card playoff games.
That's not that crazy. I think you're probably gonna nail that one.
Okay. Yeah, I said they weren't as crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't have a lot of time. I picked a couple.
Saying they'll win 2 might be crazier than saying they'll win no more than 2. But we'll see how that goes. But that's going to leave our winner. Wins don't come often for him, but Finn's 106 points. You won almost by 20 points over our next highest. So these 30 seconds, all yours.
All right, listen, Paulie. I know I just beat you. And you spent a lot of time in the offseason saying you were going to follow me. You're going to make my cycle difficult. But once again, you ran from competition. You ran from the Big Five. You went to the AFC. You went to the NFC thinking you have a better shot. You have no shot, sir. None. If I'm beating you, sir, are trash.
Ooh.
Wowzers.
So coming in hot for our first episode of First and Goal. Finns, you have an open invitation to attend First and Goal anytime you want after that.
Thank you.
Appreciate the hot take there, and maybe you're not wrong, but thanks for watching, guys.